Hey, it's Scott Garlis at Stansberry Research. We're here at the 2019 Alliance Conference in Las Vegas. I am with Chris Voss. He is the CEO and founder of the Black Swan Group and author of Never Split the Difference, Negotiating as If Your Life Depended on It. Chris, thank you.
Thanks, man. Happy to be here.
Appreciate you being here. So a couple of questions. During your presentation, you said, never be so stuck with something you want that you may turn down something better.
Right.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah, well, the point of reality is there's no way you can walk into a negotiation knowing everything, especially people that pride themselves on researching and learning everything possible before they get to the table. Intellectually, we know it's impossible to know everything, and it's just not possible. You're hiding stuff, which means they are, which means, and you're hiding important stuff, which they are, which means not only is there stuff you don't know, but it's important, and you don't know it. If you can discover that, that will change your calculus, which means you can't possibly have known the best deal when you walk to the table. It's to be discovered there. And if you've got a fixed mindset on what you want, you're going to miss those cues.
Wow, that's you just never have the blinders on.
Never have the blinders on, exactly right.
Really interesting. So what did your career as a hostage negotiator teach you?
You know, emotional intelligence. I mean, that wasn't even a phrase back then, and we thought somehow kidnappers and criminals and terrorists in sieges were different, but their decision-making is decision-making by human beings, period. And regardless of gender or ethnicity, everybody has the same basic decision-making wiring. Doesn't matter where you grew up, doesn't matter what religion you grew up under. So we got a real grounding of that, and then about the time I was getting out, other researchers globally were finding out all those dynamics applied to humans in all interactions, and you know, learned it under those circumstances, and then had faith in applying it in everything else.
Yeah, you know, I thought it was really interesting. Before this, we were speaking a little bit, and you were telling me about some of the tendencies in your career in the FBI you picked up in negotiating situations, and it sounded very similar to me as things I noticed on Wall Street,
right? And
how situations tend to repeat themselves over time. They may be some slightly different variables, but the habits, patterns of behavior. You start looking for patterns and you pick them up, and you get a real good feel of where things are going. Yeah, it's amazing when the human element's involved.
Yeah, yeah.
So, next question: what would be your single biggest piece of advice for people?
Counterintuitive. Let the other side go first. You're in an information gathering mode anyway. You want that information. Whatever they're going to say something that you can use. They're going to say something that's going to make you smarter. If you go first, you're talking before you've made yourself smarter. And if you don't take yourself hostage, meaning I'm not flexible, they go first, you get smarter, you think of a better outcome, let them go first. They're dying to tell you anyway, and they're not going to listen to you until they do. So if you try to go first, you're wasting your time because they're dying to tell you what they have to say. So let them go first. It'll make you smarter.
You know, interesting, one of the first lessons I learned early in my career was my boss had said, people love to talk, be a good listener.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He had a good boss.
He was a good guy. I learned a lot from him. Chris, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you.
Certainly. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for further updates.